want to bring in now Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern joining us. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time. We'll start with this. Your reaction to the November jobs report. Okay, so economists expected more than 500,000 jobs to be added, 210,000 jobs. Way below what they expected, but there's good news from the Labor Department here. The unemployment rate fell to 4.2%. Your thoughts on both of those statistics?
Well, Sean, thanks for having me. And having been a job creator in business for 35 years before coming to Congress 3 years ago, what this administration doesn't understand is how business actually works. You need certainty, you need predictability. With all the crazy spending, the tax changes that are being proposed on small businesses in America and job creators, they're just holding back. And, this 4.2% versus 4.6 versus, the list goes on percentages. Ask the person who actually needs workers about percentages. It's about the actual numbers. And what you're seeing right now is business push back on the direction of this government, this administration, on actually putting people to work. There are a lot of open jobs, but there's a lot of uncertainty also. And then also you've got people that are being paid more to stay at home. And so, you have a combination that's just really not good for economic growth.
Yeah, again, 500,000 were expected. You had 50% of that, less than that, 210,000 jobs added. And as you mentioned, 4.2% unemployment, which would be seen as a good sign, and we'll get an economist's way on it later, but we're still not back at, I believe it was 3.5% pre-pandemic. So we're not there yet, which means you need to add jobs at some point. Turning now to Capitol Hill, something you've been a part of here, Congress passing the stopgap bill to fund the government through February 18th. The House passed this, but I know that you voted no on this. The only Republican that said yes, Adam Kinzinger, no surprise there, obviously moved to the Senate. They passed it as well. What was your main issue with this? I spoke with Senator Marsha Blackburn yesterday, and it was the money for OSHA enforcing vaccine mandates. Is that your concern on it as well?
Well, my concern on it is continuing doing what we're doing, letting a crisis, a famous quote made by Rahm Emanuel is that never let a crisis go to waste. The Democrats have all kinds of opportunities. They're fully in charge. I mean, one party, one rule this year. They could have put the appropriations bills together, created a budget. Nancy Pelosi hasn't created a budget in the 3 years I've been here. I had the honor to chair the budget committee, actually put a budget together that balanced. We need to do this and get it in regular order, as the American people know they're seeing their hard-earned taxpayer dollars here. And we continue these, cliff-hanging crisis one after another. Bad things happen, and we continue to fund the government. And the irony of all of this is, under this CR, was the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and the CR basically says we're operating under President Trump's budget. That has got to be a concern to all the Democrats out there. But they continue this increasingly insane way of spending trillions of dollars.
I want to get to this next point, the talk about the vaccine mandates, if we can. In Oklahoma, the Attorney General there in your state of Oklahoma suing the Biden administration to stop its mandatory COVID-19 vaccine requirement for federal employees and the National Guard. The AG releasing a statement reads this, and I'll read it to you. Biden's COVID-19 vaccine mandate ensures that many Oklahoma National Guard members will simply quit instead of getting a vaccine, a situation that irreparably harm Oklahomans and safety and security. These patriots, along with many federal employees who serve their country and their state, are now at risk of being terminated because they do not wish to take the vaccine, end quote. That was John O'Connor. Do you support that lawsuit, sir?
I do. If you look at the real gist of the lawsuit, it's really about the 10th Amendment. It's about protecting the rights of the states and the ability for the governors to be the commander-in-chief of the National Guard. If you're in the Army or in the Air Force, the regular Army, regular Air Force, or any Marine Corps or Navy, then you have the right at the Secretary of Defense level to make sure military readiness. But these are National Guardsmen. They're people who work regular jobs, most of them, every single day, and they have personal rights that the governor of the state of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt, has said that we're going to protect our sovereignty of our workers and our people in the state, and we're not going to do mandates on the people working in our businesses. This is consistent also with the AG's position on requiring private employers to vaccinate with 100 or more employees. So they've been very consistent. This is not just about the National Guard. Again, it's about what's called Title 32 National Guard or Title 10, the big military. So they've been very consistent, very supportive of it.
Final thoughts, if I can, from you. And we've been showing this. There is a tweet sent out by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and many are criticizing this specific tweet about gas prices. I know you've probably seen it, and I'll show it to you here. $3.40 there, and it dumps down to $3.38 U.S. regular gas prices. That from the DCC, and they said this: "Thanks, Joe Biden. Save yourself a couple pennies." Your reaction to that?
Well, first of all, it just shows you how out of touch the Socialist Democrats are with the American people. If they think this is a game changer when gas prices have gone up 40, 50, 60%, and they're talking about a 2-cent drop, I guess you could combine that with, a 10-cent drop here, and you could take that 12 cents and buy something with it. I'm not sure what it would be. But these Democrats up here right now are just completely out of touch of the American people, inflation. We have this Department of Interior Secretary Deb Haaland in Oklahoma today, and the First Lady's in Oklahoma. I hope they actually stop by a gas station and buy some gas and talk to people at grocery stores to see what this insatiable appetite for spending that the Biden administration and the Socialist Democrats have done, what it's done to the American people's pocketbook, having the highest Thanksgiving in history in cost. And then for the White House a few weeks ago for Jen Psaki to say, if businesses are going to take increased costs and pass those along in the form of price increases to the American people, that's absurd and unfair. That tells you right there how disconnected they are from the American workforce and the American job creators.
You're going to be out of luck because they're not stopping at the gas station. They're going to be going to the charging stations, apparently, with all their electric vehicles, making light of the subject. But nevertheless, that is a big focal point for this administration. Congressman Kevin Hern of Oklahoma. Congressman, thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
You too.